going EHOME. It's not based on anything other than the fact that they IG picked Leshrac, and that hero has a new ability with Ags or Ags Shard, and that is the first prediction on dpc.pwesports.cn/fun. And, well, I said that Emo wasn't going to pick a hero that was getting a new ability, so off that, I'm picking EHOME. Because IG, I tied for second last week. They don't know this, but I tied for second last week. But I think based on time, I still didn't get plushies.
Well, considering how much you're talking about it, maybe someone out there will send you a plushie.
I like your mindset on that.
Yeah, for just participating and being very vocal about it.
Ooh.
So Lina mid against Leshrac. They kind of, not going to say counterpick, but they put themselves in a good spot that Leshrac doesn't, Lina doesn't care too much about Leshrac and the harassment. It's very hard to land a stun. Lina just outranges her. Has, what's that, 670 attack range. And, yeah, a lot of stuns, as we discussed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stuns, if you think that the Phoenix Supernova is also a stun. And on the other side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, pretty much Juggernaut is the only hero in this game that does not have a stun.
Yeah. Slacking. You know, he should have a stun. You
He
know
can
what would be
get a
cool?
basher.
This would be cool.
What? Wake me up, B-Cup. Give me some, like, your dumbest idea that you have in the head right now. Like, what would be cool?
Why you put it like that?
Because usually it ends up like that. I mean, I've been casting with you for the past 5 months. I know what's going to come out, but viewers probably don't. So just strike us.
Okay, so you can upgrade Jug's Blade Fury to, at the end of it, he lets out, he spins, you know, he makes that big, you know, he's spinning up.
That's a
and at the
Dawnbreaker.
end,
It stuns, yeah. That's pretty
it
much.
should stun.
Yeah, this is Dawnbreaker you're talking about. We
Yeah, but
already
yeah.
have that in the game.
Okay. I tried. Or, ooh. You know what? They should just make his E a stun.
Cool.
Activate it.
So yeah,
See, it was
thank
cool.
God you are not working for Valve or just being a beta tester or giving ideas, because this game would be pretty clowny.
I mean, who's to say
That you're
that
not.
Ice Frog's not listening?
He might be listening and he's like, boy, I gotta mute these casters.
He's in chat just saying, does anybody else have to mute these casters? I'm just going to go watch in-game.
I don't care about the delay, you know, I just can't bear with these two. So a bit of a pause, no one disconnected, but no, they're playing on land, so sometimes issues will occur.
Oh, gosh. Just the thought of Ice Frog saying that he has to mute me.
Probably wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, no. You're not wrong. I would say to you, yes, I've seen that line in chat before. More than once. G from X Nova. I hope he doesn't let me down in the predictions next game. Which is, in game 2, how many times will X Nova stack creep camps? So I looked at his last 20 matches. And he has only averaged about 2.5 camps stacked, which is surprising. You would think it would be way more. 2.5 camps stacked in those 20 games on average.
Okay, I was just being like, how do you stack half a camp?
What? Well, average.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well.
One time you stack it 3 times, the other time you stack it 2 times, and there you go. That's the average.
Yeah, well, that would be, 2.5.
Now, the first thing that came to my mind is like, yeah, he stacked 2 big camps and 1 small camp.
You could just stack like a third of a camp.
You know how you can do a half pull? Like you do a half stack.
Yeah, you know what would be cool? If for every creep that is
outside of the box. Like,
outside of the box respawns another creep.
Yeah.
So you can half stack.
Sorry, the big dragon was still inside, you know, his left wing.
So you get the 2 smaller dragons.
Yeah, you're just getting 2 small dragons.
Yeah.
That's noob friendly. That's like really noob friendly.
Yeah, so any game under ancient metal gets that. Oh my god, if the game was different for each MMR, you know it would be cool.
Definitely would not be cool. Oh, look at Lion, man. Lion looks dope. Lion has one of the best cosmetics in the game.
The big horns. China cosmetics are always on point.
By on point, you mean very expensive.
Very expensive. You've got Fly. He has Bleak Hallucination on both Rubik and Tusk, which the Tusk one's not 15,000. The Tusk one is actually like 900.
It's not even 1,000?
No. So
Well,
I
wouldn't
thought,
even
I
bother
thought
buying
about
that.
it. I've been thinking about that one. But then there's Sylar. We haven't seen him play Lycan, obviously. He's got Flame of the Eternal Doom, which is his Lycan when he goes into ult form is on fire, and it just leaves a trail of fire. And then I forget who has the Trail of the Burning Doom on their Undying, but that one's really cool as well.
Imagine spending that on Undying.
Well, Undying, there was a point where you were just playing Undying every game in a 5 position in China. So they were using it pretty often.
JT, he knows. He is scouting for a ward. There is a ward on the high ground. So that's going to get de-warded. Let's see who gets the rune.
Oh.
XM has stun.
The battle begins.
Couple right clicks here. It's not post 10 minutes yet.
It's one of those let's fight, but let's don't.
Now a little dance around the rune. If you go in, I'll go in.
So it's going to be 2 for 2. Man, I feel like we've been in this game for 10 minutes already. 0 kills.
We got there. We got there.
So Phoenix Mars top against Grimstroke Jug, they need to be careful. Like if EHOME gets level 2 faster, there's a lot of kill potential. Because as a Grimstroke, you do not want to start with Inkswell. You start with Inkswell, you're kind of ruining your lane. Cooldown is 30 seconds compared to Stroke of Fate, 11 seconds, so you can use it pretty much 3 times.
Let's see how this top lane goes. Sylar, I feel like we're always hypercritical of Sylar at times.
When he's not on Lycan, yeah. Because we expect, you know, Sylar joining in. He needs to be able to get this team possibly to the major, because the last season they didn't look so good. They were pretty much in the same spot. But yeah, very important series, as we always say.
Every series important, potentially leading to 5-way tiebreakers. We'll see how it goes. XM, Emo, both these guys, pretty sure at one point we're splitting the 1-2 rankings of the region. Constantly back and forth. It's always fun to watch these guys go up against each other.
They got level 2 faster, but they instead decided to go back with it. Inkswell just to run away. And now you have Phoenix with the dive, so he's not really, doesn't have to care about Juggernaut spin. Plus an Inkswell on top of him. Mars going for a bit of a different build. No bottle, no bracer, nothing, just going straight into Ring of Health. And Kaka will snipe that healing ward. Easy goal for him.
Yeah, well done there. And yeah, we've seen a lot of offlaners go to the offlane bottle. We saw it a lot in Season 1. I would say not as much now. Kind of that trend maybe fell off a little bit. But we were seeing bottles almost every game on offlaners.
Yeah, this is your go-to line to say something smart. You need to find something else now.
No, if it works, I gotta keep reusing it.
Sanking has one queued up. Chalice is still kind of prioritizing that. Let's see if he decides to go for it, and he buys it. So your time to shine, Beak up here. Here you go. Give me like 2 big, like try to be simple. Why is that good? Like for players who are playing the off lane, they don't buy a bottle. Like, why would you want to buy a bottle?
You got to be hydrated, is one for sure, and then you know you got that regen. It's always nice to get that regen. You pass the bottle off to your support. He goes and refills it for you, brings it back nice and fresh, more regen, sustain in lane. Always a good time. And if you guys haven't been listening, this is my go-to line.
Yeah, you sold me. Like, give me a couple of bottles.
I mean, yeah, if I could just show you the logo and just present you bottle, I think that would have been a sale right
If
there.
you fail as a caster, I can see you, just going around selling stuff over the phone, going to people's houses, like, check this bottle.
Yeah. Spear doesn't land
It's
on
not
the
full,
tree.
but I can still sell it to you. I promise no one took a sip from it.
Yeah, I mean, you see all those cologne commercials that are really weird. I could just be like, refreshing, embodiment,
Radiant structures
bottle.
are fortified.
And then you'd see that's going to sell. Billboards all over New York City.
Dire's top tower.
Mid lane,
is under attack.
26 CS for Lina, 22 for Last Track. Lion going to check the rune.
Our
If they land a stun, this should be the first
they're looking
blood.
for the stun on the XM. One more shot needed. Ollie, taking that first blood away. Not sure he
had
needed to.
Terrifier, Stick, and the bottle rune inside the bottle, but I still think he dies, so he's just saving it for later. So first blood before fifth
Before
minute
5
mark.
minutes.
Yeah, that's
pretty
pretty
early.
impressive how we've seen some games in China go.
I'm not really sure what happened because Season 1 was, this region was a bloodbath. And we were having crazy games. And then throughout, the last week, I would say, maybe just the last week in particular.
First of all, we don't see mid laners dying to each other because it's very hard to kill. Everyone's full HP, always have that water rune, always have that bottle refill. And don't see too many rotations from position 4s like Earth Spirit, Tusk. They're kind of not meta right now. They're big from time to time. It's more about being focused in the laning stage. So like a lot of these Snapfires being picked up more often. Spin on the top lane. JT just standing his ground, has a spear ready.
Yeah, he needs to be careful on Sylar that he doesn't line up with a tree accidentally. And otherwise that would lead to him potentially dying here. But he's got that sustain, he's got that healing ward. This time not getting sniped out by Kaka. At least not yet. And yeah, there it is. So Icarus Dive being used to just make sure that Sylar... It's a little bit more of a struggle as he sits half health. He's only got a couple charges on that stick. Inkswell, Kaka doesn't have that Icarus Dive, and we've seen the damage that Grimstrokes can output, but only one Mango lacking the mana and not quite getting the damage to get that kill.
Emo is level 7, a bit low on mana. Just picked up that haste rune. Lina level 6, about to hit level 7. Also does not have too much mana to work with.
Burrow Strike, Fire Snap Cookie, and the Low Shredder. The damage on a Fly is impressive, and he gets the kill. Fade sticks with him. Chalice sits back a little bit to farm, and Fade with the minus armor on this Wraith King gets the kill.
Yeah, good kill. I expected the Wraith King to even get the less farm in this lane. You're playing into Caustic Finale, you're playing into Sandstorm. It's not an easy lane for him. And now, like, Snapfire is getting closer to level 5. Sanking is already level 5. It's going to be full HP, full mana. They need to be careful. Wraith King is not as... Like, he's decent laner, but you don't put more than 1 point in stun. Damage comes from skeletons and your crit. So he might stick around to get a bit more levels and then just bail, go to jungle.
What's the proper point for a Wraith King? Well, obviously, there's not like a proper point if you're just getting really harassed in lane, but like, when is the best feeling to go into jungle as Wraith King?
I think in the next 30 seconds to a minute, like, he should just go to the jungle. And we can see the rotation from Lina already. XM, like, they would definitely love to kill Wraith King one more time. But, yeah, Lion's gonna tank the gank for him, so Fly is just gonna bail.
He might just be forced out of this one. Blade Fury, again, they get the healing ward. Kaka's getting a good amount of gold from those healing wards. It's like the 4th one he's sniped so far. They're going to try and take this tier 1 tower over bottom. They've got 3 heroes to try and secure it. Nobody really rotating for the side of IG. And
this is not his job. Like, Fly is down there. They need Lashrak. If they want to take this fight, they need Lashrak or they need Mars Arena of Blood. Mars doesn't have ulti, so a lot of time wasted from Fly. They actually managed to lose the tower. He used the skeletons, didn't get any XP. That's why I said, you know, in the next 30 seconds, when he saw them ganking, if there's not going to be any kind of rotation, especially from Leshrac, to be able to deal damage and force them to get away. Now he's still sticking at the bottom lane. So yeah, gonna pay with his life, has a point in reincarnation, just got it.
Yeah, so he's forced to take this reincarnation as he's continuing to get harassed. They do find themselves this Lina. If they can get the kill on XM, this is a good trade for the side of IG, and that's exactly what they'll get. These heroes try to TP out, and the supports are out of there. IG, though, with the rotation, they do get one.
Not too bad of usage of the first reincarnation, puts a point in it, and he's gonna be in jungle anyway. Might stay one more wave at the bottom because they just rotated, so he feels kind of safe. They're not going to play the bottom again. Lina has a TP ready. Didn't still find a good item for her, holding a Chip West, while Leshrac just found Arcane Ring for himself and also Ocean Heart. And the Fairy. Like, it doesn't get better than this.
Man, that's the most perfect item to get. Burrow Strike comes in. Kaka ends up dead. Fade, and he's
there we go.
Already level 6. He's doing a lot of work, and well, they'll find a Keen Optic and a Fairy Trinket of their own. So, neutral items for both sides, pretty decent. Broom handle here for Chalice. He's already level 6. The Snapfire being 6 so early could really make a difference in an early fight. If they find the opportunity to get a kill here where he doesn't die. They've got the Earth Spike, they'll land the Split Earth. JT coming over, silenced by the Phantom's Embrace, just walking up on this. Burrow Strike kisses, LSA coming through with the Laguna Blade. Now drops down the arena, but the kisses are stopped because Emo walks up on a Fade. So they get the kill on a Fade, they'll take out XM. They kind of lose this advantage, and Chalice, he'll Burrow Strike, he'll go into the Sandstorm, but it's not looking like it's going to help him.
Oh, if they get this kill, Fly coming with the stun, and Emo will get the last hit. Just delaying the Blink Dagger on a Sanking, because he definitely wants to rush one. They want to have something to initiate the fight with. It looked like a decent fight. You talked about the importance of Snapfire hitting that level 6 early on. They did have it, but did not manage to kill Mars. He's super tanky with that hood.
It was interesting who they really wanted to go to, and talk about how tanky he is, but that just gets ripped to shreds by Fade. He's got that medallion. He has maxed out Little Shredder. Like, it's a lot of minus armor, and Snapfire is like deceivingly strong when you've got that Little Shredder maxed out in the medallion.
It's a ton of damage. It's like you'd think, well, maybe this time around it's not gonna be that much of a damage, but in the end it is. You get surprised, especially by those last 2 hits, because your minus armor is already low. Sanking Blink Dagger, Raid King going for Hand of Midas, Phase Boots, Midas 11 minutes in.
Not terrible timing.
Not terrible, yeah, considering that they pressured him a lot at the bottom. Spent some time just hiding in the trees as well. So he's recovering nicely. Might join a fight with the next reincarnation before the Radiance, because it's going to take some time. It's going to take 6-7 minutes to farm that Radiance.
And if he's got that second life with the way the fights are going, I think he'll feel confident enough to just walk in.
He's going to feel comfortable just going in, throwing possibly a stun, using the skeletons, just being annoying.
Yeah. Inkswell, Burrow Strike on it too. Well done by Chalice, looking for the epicenter. They've got the Laguna Blade out of both those heroes. And they'll get the kill on Ollie. The arena's down. Chalice now trying to get out of this one as Emo steps up on them. They'll get the kill on the Chalice. They'll look over at XM, and he does die, but only after they lose Emo. Icarus dive over onto X-Nova. Silence comes through onto the Wraith King. Omni Slash used on Kaka.
Where's
He'll
that
be
Cookie?
killed.
Like, Cookie disappeared. Very interesting. Because he used Cookie on Juggernaut.
As he went into the Omni?
And he went into Omni and ate the Cookie.
Just didn't jump with the Cookie.
Disappeared.
It was a bad batch.
Yeah, good executed combo from EHOME. But still, in the end, Leshrac, like, they need to take out Leshrac possibly, because he deals a ton of damage. I want to see what the next item is going to be. We're going to see 2-man Burrow Strike into 2-man Silence, 2-man Laguna, Epicenter in the Sands. It's just so much. I also would not be surprised. Like, JT doesn't like to build into these aura items. Maybe he decides to get a pipe possibly after getting a Blink Dagger, because like BKB is a safer choice. BKB is like, you guys can't touch me, I only need to care pretty much about the Juggernaut ulti. But pipe, I would not mind seeing pipe here. Because EHOME will want to pressure, they will want to take fights. Raking, he keeps farming. He keeps farming in the triangle. Leshrac, I like that. I like Hood quite a lot, and then you can upgrade it to Eternal Shroud. What's happening with Mage Slayer? Why is no one... I mean, I know the item is not really cost efficient, but I would definitely want to see like someone buying the item.
I'll buy it in my pub today just for you.
Okay. You're gonna lose.
Why? Because I picked up Mage Slayer?
Yeah. I just don't find the value on any of the heroes. Seen it on Jug when at the start of the first season, I believe OG was trying to build it.
And even
on
then, we
Jug.
only saw like what, once or twice. It wasn't even like that popular of an item.
Radiant's middle tower is under
How do you even
attack.
build it? Mage Slayer, you need the Blade, Cloak, Claimer, Recipe. Maybe if we remove the recipe, Dota players, they're all about the efficiency. They don't like to buy those recipes.
Yeah, they don't want to follow the guidelines of a recipe. You wing it. You put some items together, smash them up nice and tight, and make something else. It's a 1K lead right now for IG, and I wanted to say about that last fight that happened over bottom where they came out with the Burrow Strike and everything. Even with that good initiation, even with the double Laguna,
They still lose because
IG still was strong.
Leshrac comes in, even if he dies with the Edict, still gonna deal a ton of damage. And has that Fairy Trinket that you mentioned. Like, this is probably the best tier 1 item that you can get. Color coordinated, gives you that a bit of extra tankiness that you need, spell damage. Like, Fairy Trinket doesn't feel like a tier 1 item, to be honest.
It definitely could.
Let it burn.
Does it fit tier 2 though? Is it a little weak to be a tier 2? Just a touch, like the numbers
It's
could
like
be like
1.8, I would say.
Yeah, because I think if you upped it to like 200 health, 8% spell damage, 8%.
Certain heroes will just hold it. Let's say Zeus, if you don't find Philosopher's Stone, if there's not a better tier 1 item, and there isn't for Zeus, so he just might hold it. And if you don't find a good tier 3 item, sometimes you're going to see Zeus holding the Fairy Trinket.
For like the entire
Yeah,
game.
not in the entire game, but tier 4 he should get something better. It really depends. And Leshrac going into E on this. Just going to disassemble Mana Boots. Emo wants to be able to get his spells off, not get bursted by Lina, by a
Dire's middle
Sanking.
tower is under
Very
attack.
interesting idea. I'm liking it.
Considering he had Eternal Shroud queued up as well. Laguna Blade was used up top. They'll get the reincarnation out of the hands of Fly. Fire Snap Cookie. They're not even going to use it. They've got themselves the Mortimer's Kisses.
Middle tower is
And
under
the kill
attack.
there from Chalice as he comes in with that Burrow Strike Epicenter. I believe Cookie, yeah, was still on cooldown as they had used it for that first kill. And then Snapfire, you could see Blink Dagger, Shard. I really like this Snapfire Shard.
It's one of the best ones.
You see a lot of these Snapfires, I think, sit back in pubs. But in the pro games, you've seen a lot of Snapfires go in, use this Shard, and man, 2-second stun is in such a cone, it can be crucial.
You have to position yourself, so that's why they are picking up Blink Dagger. Juggernaut this time around, no Maelstrom, deciding to go for the Diffusal Blade. We see more and more Diffusal Blades being picked up. It's not about, I'm gonna burn mana on Wraith King. It's just that the item is cost efficient, gives you that slow, and no one likes to play into Mana Burn, because Mana Burn is not really a counter to Wraith King anymore. If he feels threatened, will invest that gold into Shard anyway. Before, you had to play for level 20, which was a kind of a
little bit
big
longer
deal.
out.
Yeah, you just did not want to take the fights at all.
Burrow Strike comes in, Ollie ends up dead. Sunray not enough to save him. And, you know, sometimes you don't even need to invest the gold. If you play the game with a certain lineup where you can also go into Roche, get the second Roche at an earlier timing, you can just do that as well. They've got the stun coming through that, hits onto the Sand King. Inkswell, they get the kill on a JT now. Heals up into the air as Omni Slash was out onto Emo. And now Blade Fury, they'll get the kill onto the Leshrac as they go after this Phoenix, and he'll just escape as he's got that Force Staff pretty early on into the game.
Yeah, The 3 big kills. They're also delaying Radiance on a Wraith King, which is very important. He just got a Relic, and that one extra that costing them quite a lot, and they did not manage to bring down a mid tier 1 tower, not a bottom tier 1 tower. So they need some extra gold. He's gonna need another minute, minute and a half to farm that Radiance. Finds Pupil's Gift. Definitely does not want to keep that.
Illusion.
Is Pupil's Gift a item that a lot of heroes just...
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's stats. It's mostly for non-strength heroes because you want to have tankiness from it.
Yeah.
Like, it's good on certain heroes like Pango. If you don't find anything better, just makes him, like, it's exactly what he needs. Mana, a bit more HP. And it's good on supports.
Like, it definitely...
It's kind of one of those boring items. Unlike Philosopher's Stone, we have Philly. Drop for EHOME, so free gold coming out from them. Let's see who decides to keep it, because Snapfire just... I think you give it to Snapfire, like Snapfire is...
wants that gold.
It's the hero that scales so good with the items.
You know, you were telling me to sell everybody on Bottle. Sell me on Philosopher's Stone.
Because it's a good investment, like if you get it...
Ooh, Hex Finger. Mortimer's Kisses come out, Ollie dead. Sylar survives that with half health.
Not sure why they're still trying to fight top. Wraith King needs to farm 150 gold for Radiance. Just give him that time. There's Ancient Creeps, and that should be enough for him to get it. And then you can decide to take a fight, because you have a big timing. Leshrac, Eon Disc, Hood, very tanky. Phoenix, still not level 12. Maybe at this point you would want to have it.
This game could be a bit of a struggle for the Phoenix, unless the positioning is...
Yeah, playing into Snapfire is always tricky.
And
Level
Lina.
1 ulti just straight up dies. They have attack speed from Lina, as
They
I
got
mentioned.
the spear back, and now the Earth Spike. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do, just in time to kill off Sylar. The Soulbind came out, and now they're on the run on the side of EHOME.
They need to chase. Blink Dagger on Mars, ready in 3 seconds. If they can potentially get one more kill.
They want Emo to get onto XM, but he's just not quick enough. However, Mars is still going for that, looking for a spear. XM over into the tree. Spear! Oh, it hit, but it didn't connect to anything.
Lina with a BKB. Lina scales really well with the items. This time around, staying close to the top of net worth. Like BKB damage talent, HP talent makes her tanky. If you can get that like 1 damage item, and Satanic is really good on Lina with all the attack speed, now they can finally try to take the tier 1 tower on the mid lane.
Epicenter and the Laguna Blade used. Kaka blown up immediately. It's a lot to get the Phoenix there as they bring in the arena, as well as the spear that hits on a Chalice. The right click's coming through onto Ollie. LSA lands on a Fly. He doesn't have enough mana for that reincarnation.
Stick
Chalice
available.
still goes down to Fly. Maybe they want to turn this. JT thinking about staying in and potentially throwing another spear, but with
It's
the
time
rest
to
of the team
reset.
behind him.
They have very low mana on both Mars and Wraith King, and they also need Phoenix. Phoenix now is level 2, so 8 attacks to destroy the egg. Snapfire can't solo kill it anymore.
Money to burn.
The question just becomes being able to get it off. The focus of EHOME's attention has been on this Phoenix a couple times. Burrow Strike, Laguna Blade. Well, just a quick kills with the right clicks as well. If you get a Phantom's Embrace, I don't know if Phoenix is going to be able to even get the Supernova off.
If they jump him, it's going to be hard, because they have enough burst damage. They have a nice follow-up. Juggernaut finishing the Manta style after. Not sure what Manta is for. I would prefer S and Y, because there's a bunch of stuns and you want to have that status resistance. Like, there's nothing that he can dispel that is like really valuable. Fire Spirit, you don't care about it, you still have a spin to potentially deal with the egg.
Chalice right in the face of JT. Burrow Strike, Fade in, has that Blink Dagger, and there's the Fire Snap Cookie right on top. Fade even committing the Mortimer's Kisses to this kill.
When you're close to Snapfire, you always kind of want to run towards her if you see that ulti being used.
So much farm on the Snapfire. Blink and that Shard already picked up, and it felt like we were just talking about Snapfire
Fate's
getting
having
this
a
gold.
really good game. 7-1 and 4, a lot of involvement. Shard, as you mentioned, and now going back to Solar Crest, so even more minus armor, potentially attack speed on Juggernaut as well, where he's just gonna pop off with the ulti.
I think that's one of the things that when you think about EHOME has kind of been the most disappointing. Their support duo, in my eyes, on paper, seemed like the best support duo in the region. Xnova and Fade, especially Fade coming off of the big
kinda
season
disagree.
he had like
For
a
me,
year or two ago.
PYW and DY are like tier above them. Like what they do,
but
they've
if we
been
saw
pretty
Fade at their peaks, you know,
sure,
when you thought
like
when
when he was playing for Vici Gaming,
Yeah.
he was like top tier. I don't think anyone was close to Fade at the time.
and that's what you know, when you saw these two supports,
Because he
everybody
retired.
liked Xnova
He
too.
retired for a very long
3
time.
days or
It
so.
was like 3 days up to a week, and then decided to come back. I think he lost a lot of skill during that retirement.
And now I agree with you, though. PYW, DY, that seems like the combo. Because you think about Xnova, everybody is always infatuated with his warding, his ability as a 5 position. It's like, you're always just like, oh, okay, there is a ward here whenever you're playing against Xnova, because he's always on point with getting the vision down and helping his team. And then
Yeah, Xnova is like a broodmother, dude. He has multiple eyes. He can keep the track on minimap, on his hero, what's happening, where they're warding.
so at least for me, that's one of the things that, you know, I've really wanted to see EHOME be a top team, and I've just been waiting for them to kind of pop off. They've got the arena down. Spear lands, kill on Xnova. Mortimer's kisses from a distance as the Soulbind is leashed together. JT as well as Fly. Right click's coming in on the XM. Icarus dive over. Supernova in his face. BKB's been popped, so he's able to walk away from this one. The Supernova goes off, but it only makes the fight disengage.
Yeah, they get nothing out of Supernova. Buyback from Xnova. Dire using a scan. They think they're inside of pit, but they're actually not. So no Laguna, no kisses, no Grimstroke ulti. So I feel IG will just hold the high ground, see if they decide to show up, potentially go around. Because Emo can play a bit more aggressive, has that E on this, gives them a couple of seconds to react. They're trying to proc it. There we
And
go.
They got it to proc immediately, but the Sunray's on. They've got the stun on the Fade. Blade Fury on a Fly. They land that spear, then it hits on the Chalice. They'll burn out the Sand King. No! He's just able to survive with the BKB. Staying nearby. BKB's also been popped by Fly.
That's a very interesting spot, because I had this happen the other day in my pub, where like gets speared exactly there, and it's like he's out of the map. Like it's very hard to reach him. Melee heroes can't hit him.
And then he ends up
Another
showing on the
arena.
other side.
They
Yeah,
need
the
to
arena
take down
comes
Healing
down.
Ward.
Inkswell, that'll come through. And now,
Ooh. All right, this gives them time to
break it down.
break it down a bit. Let's see. They killed Emo. He killed Ward. Running a bit low on mana. No E on disc. Pulse Nova running. Lina, no BKB. 4 seconds. Jug has ulti. Spin ending in a second. So let's break it down. Epicenter being channeled in the back. Blink Dagger ready. Can someone cancel it? Potentially, if there's a Sunray a bit to the left.
It
Yeah,
really
Sanking.
depends.
Not the pinging.
Yeah.
Where's Sanking? Sanking is missing, guys. Fly has reincarnation. He's level 19. So that means he's going to spawn pretty quickly. Line running low on mana. If he uses a stick, we'll have another Hex available. Already used his finger.
I want to know what they just said in chat. Because they said something about their BKB being on cooldown, which I think is funny in all chat. Take a look at this last fight, and you can talk
Well,
about...
maybe Lina said my BKB is not on cooldown. He's lying.
Yeah, Fly couldn't right-click Chalice there.
So he kind of spawns on the other side of the crystal there. He didn't use
Yeah.
Burrow Strike. Very interesting. What are these crystals anyway? You got any lore?
They are very rare crystals, and in the Dota universe, there is crystals that kind of protrude this aura. And the aura is what generates a little bit of how every hero kind of gains their powers, because the energy is within everybody. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I thought it was about, you know, because Dota players, as we are, very egoistic, and then you're walking around the map with your new shiny cosmetics, you check, you're like, wow, man, this looks so good on me. Look at how beautiful I am. Because you can see yourself in crystal, like you can see your image. Maybe that's why.
Maybe. They could be Protoss pylons. That's why they're able to spawn on the map.
maybe. So yeah, what do you think how this fight is gonna end?
So they're already picking out Sand King. So I think they have a little bit of an inkling of a feeling.
That he might be using that ulti from somewhere. Also Burrow Strike ready, Sandstorm ready. So potentially ton of damage coming out. Let's see if he decides to keep it inside the pit. So if Epi lands, even though Mars has Hood of Defiance, Jug Omni Slash plus Epicenter.
Does Lina survive long enough? Because Yules is off cooldown. And
Nah, she's dead. Like Lina,
BKB in 4 seconds.
he's still spiked for another
1 second.
0.3, I would say. And I believe with Leshrac coming in, also God's Rebuke available.
So Yule's up into the air. Chalice comes in with Burrow Strike, and he's going to come all the way through across 3 heroes. They'll still get the kill into XM, but it's actually Roche who gets the kill into XM. Chalice dies too. 2 heroes dead on the side of EHOME. Fly moving in, Wraithfire Blast, 1 right click, 2 right clicks, and down goes an X-Nova. So 3 kills there right outside Roche. Time to take an Aegis. That 2-part fight brought to you by... Pause.
Yeah, and now they can take the Roche. Lina managed to get the Yule Scepter off, but nothing of value lost for IG. They can take the Roche. This is first Roche. We had a couple of pauses, so it might seem it's the second one.
They'll go after Fade, who tried to make a move here, but a little bit early.
A bit too early. He had a streak. He had a 5 streak, so 500 gold. Fed to who? JT gets it, so that's going to get him closer to his BKB.
It's a lot of gold to give up.
Well, yeah, exactly, and a lot of XP.
Now he's only 150 gold away from that BKB.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I think IG getting the benefit of that pause, I would say.
Because they saw Sanking. You know, they had time to discuss whatever Sanking is doing. Probably gonna get punished. Leshrac picking up that Aegis. As expected, going into Ether Lens. That's very interesting. I don't think I've seen Leshrac with Lens so early on.
Okay. We'll see if that goes directly into Octarine.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But EHOME, how's Sour doing? You said he went for that Manta, now he's going into the Shard. So Treads, Diffusal, Manta, going Shard, sitting second on the net worth, 3,000 behind this Wraith King.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
A surprising amount behind.
Yeah, Wraith King is just popping off, has that shard, so he doesn't care about his mana getting burned. Did not want to risk anything after finishing also BKB, going into AC just to tank things up. A lot of minus armor from Snapfire, and Snapfire finished also. Solar Crest. Fate has Aghanim Scepter queued up, which is very interesting. Not the item that we see after the nerfs.
Yeah, it's not an item we see much at all. And I wonder in what way are they going to use that? Is that just going to be like strictly Sand King, gobble up, and spit out? Sand King lands on them, Burrow Strike. I mean, there's a reason we don't see Ags being a priority anymore.
Yeah, it's a lot of gold. Before it was more damage than Mortimer's Kisses. Now it's not. And Low Shredder got buffed, Solar Crest got buffed, so it's potentially a save. I just think it's very hard to execute. It's going to be easier with the Blink Dagger, of course, to position yourself, but they're on the high ground. Firefly.
Split Earth, Mortimer's Kisses, first life out of the hands of this Wraith King. And it's that shard from Emo that's kind of making it difficult for them to proceed forward.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Just a Wraith King ulti. Now Leshrac with the shard. Oh my god, look at that cast range on Lesh. Maybe that's why he decided to go for it.
Just get those
Shard,
splitters out
lens,
from a distance.
and he also has Psychic Headband.
Psychic Headband's so good on the track. I think that might be my favorite neutral item. Psychic Headband.
It's good, you can do so many things with it. Especially on puck, like just breaking the coil or pushing someone in when he wants to get on top of you.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Hex, Burrow Strike, King Swell, and they land the Spear. This is Sylar in a lot of trouble with no buyback. Epicenter on the back lines, but they pop the BKBs already. So that Epicenter doesn't do anything. They're now 70 seconds without this Jug. Burrow Strike lands, and he's dealing with reincarnations, so Fly not entirely scared, and it's a level 3 reincarnation.
Yeah, so he's okay just going in. It's a lot of damage, and they need to be careful. As you mentioned, Sylar, no buyback.
They got the first life out of his hands with BKB being popped by XM. They know that BKBs have already been used on IG. The right click's coming in, the Scatterblast with the stun. They have the damage to get the kill on the Wraith King. They'll take out Fly. He's got no buyback. Yule's up into the air. Emo trying to land this, but there's another Yule's. You need to be careful, though. The Venn diagram of split Earths are dangerous.
Aegis will be reclaimed in 50 seconds. They managed to bring down Wraith King, which is okay. Like, they use everything. I mean, by everything, there's no Jug, so they need to be able to kill him. Lina decides to use Laguna Blade once, then Epicenter after. Still, they managed to defend the tier 3 tower. That's what matters.
Maybe Fly a little bit too willing to move forward. And you see his positioning here. He gets stunned. And the Spear BKB timing from XM. And nothing right now that EHOME are throwing, or IG are throwing, is stopping EHOME. And Fade, so willing to just put his life on the line. Because he blinks right next to Fly to land that Scatterblast, to make sure they still had the lockdown. And he's not tanky, but he survived. And like, you jump in like that, you know you're giving up your life for 2 seconds of lockdown. Or at least that's the mindset. Doing it, if I die, I die.
I love that. That's my life motto, pretty much. If I die, I die.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is, pretty much. You just don't want to interfere with the universe decisions.
Exactly. It is what it is, as Max Holloway would say. Emo, just cleaning up top. He's level 20 now. He's got the Lotus Orb on Kaka, I believe. And he's doing his thing. You know, Kaka, he had a decent lane. We haven't really felt like a massive supernova come out yet.
No.
But I don't think that's really the point for him at the moment. Like, yes, if you can get that supernova out, great. But you know it's difficult in this game to kind of have that supernova.
He's playing into a lot of counters, but he's also playing with Mars, so it should be... If there was no Mars, like this supernova, I don't think it would ever
Get off.
get off, exactly.
Yeah.
Alina now wants to get some damage items. Going into MKB next. These are some heavy right clicks from Lina once you get that Fiery Soul per stack talent. And Lotus Orb. This is big item for Phoenix. Just the whole IG team against Sanking, against Grimstroke, and most importantly, Juggernaut. Like, Juggernaut really hates to play into that item. Juggernaut BKB into Maelstrom.
Interesting.
Sylar, my friend, what are you doing? I'm just trying to find a reason why... Like, if you wanted to get a Maelstrom, just get it first. You decided to go for that Diffusal Blade, first of all. Second of all, Manta style. Not really good item here, in my opinion. Nothing to really dispel. You want to have some status resistance against all of these stuns.
Radiant are scanning.
Trying
And
to
then a
find the
BKB.
reason.
That's a third item BKB. He also picked up a shard. So spin, BKB, spin.
Smoke immediately broken. They're going to blink in. They've got the Hex coming out of the Fade, but the damage immediately on Ollie. They'll get the kill. The Spear lands on a Fade. They'll kill off this Sapphire. He's got buyback. Supernova on the backline. Sylar thinking about fighting into this, and he's on the edge of the Supernova landing. So they'll get the kill on XM. They look over at Sylar. Omni Slash bouncing around, but the Yules is used by Emo, so the damage isn't out. He pops the Aeon Disc, but they've got the stun coming through. These split Earths, they're a big problem for Sylar as he gets stunned up, but will survive. Chalice with the Burrow Strike. The damage not enough to get the kill on
Blink in a
Kaka, but
second.
JT is dead. Blink from Chalice. Mortimer's Kiss is coming in well late. Fade couldn't land them, and now let's see if he can help Chalice. Well, maybe even have to help himself. Fly coming in. Burrow Strike lands. Kaka low once again. Stun. Oh, Kaka.
Oh, neutral
dying
creep.
to a neutral.
They need to pick up the gem. Okay. Emo gets it in the end. So they can see the Sanking. Good play there from Chalice. And he also gets level 20 in that fight. Like, Burrow Strike cooldown is a really good one. Especially if you can somehow manage to farm Octarine Core, which received mostly from the mid Sankings. But yeah, Lion definitely needs a defensive item. It's a position 5 Lion, so a bit harder to farm. Didn't find a Philosopher's Stone on top of it, so he's kind of struggling. My man has 0 Finger of Death stacks on his finger.
35 minutes into the game.
Whew.
Yeah, Ali has had a rough one. A couple of his fingers were on pretty tanky heroes in the beginning. I know one of them was on Sylar, and Sylar's just kind of, you know, rubbed it off. It was
No
fine.
Phoenix for 10. Roche dropping low. That's also Shard.
Fly trying to make a play here. Burrow strike split earth. That lands on a challenge with the damage coming in. Oh my. Fly. They've got the BKB. The Soulbind comes out. That's going to leash up the Leshrac to the Wraith King. They've got the stun onto the Grimstroke again, but the arena's down. Sylar a little bit too far forward. The LSA is not going to help him out. They get the kill onto him for the first time. Can they get a second one? Epicenter not doing enough with the BKB being popped by JT. They're fighting into the Supernova with the Blade Fury right onto Emo. Can they get the kill onto the Leshrac? He's getting quite low, and they'll try to take on the Supernova, but it goes off. Hits on 4. Oh dear. Fade, he's gone. XM still trying to fight this.
He's
Right
gonna
click's
buy
going.
back.
They get the kill onto Emo. They're going to buy back on these heroes on the side of IG as they take out Sylar. The Jug is gone. They've got the Hex onto the Lina, and
There's
there's
the
your finger
finger.
stack. They'll get
Can they get
themselves
another one?
They've got
Yes,
the
they
stun onto
can.
X-Nova, and they will take out this Grimstroke.
Juggernaut unable to use the cheese there. He picked up the shard as well, so they need to give it to someone else. Lina, potentially. Grimstroke. Grimstroke does not have a shard. I think you give it to Grimstroke there. A couple of buybacks expended for IG in the end. Like Leshrac with this Octarine core, lowering the cooldown on a split earth with his shard is pretty big. And they're going to go for tier 4s. Try to force some buybacks. Sylar forced to use it.
And there they go. They got the buybacks. They could just retreat a couple of clicks onto the tier 4. They could take this set of racks. You know, they bought back on EHOME, not sure they were really certain on fighting this anyway. They're without this Snapfire, they're without the Lina. You got 5 heroes here for IG that are looking ready to fight. You clean up mid, but is that
so
the best
much
you can do?
minus armor. Orb of Destruction plus AC. Leshrac really thrives on that with the Diabolic Edict. And they're gonna take 2 sets of barracks. Bottom lane pushing in, 2 catapults. Someone needs to address this problem.
Yeah, they got top, they got mid. Let's see.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Let's see where this goes, because I think for EHOME, you kind of want to stay a little bit more conservative now, but are you forced in a position where you need to fight? Spell Prism picked up for the Wraith King.
Oh yeah, Leshrac will definitely grab that one.
Illusionist Cave.
Stormcrafter as well.
I've been seeing a lot more heroes hold on to the Stormcrafter. That, to me, for a while, felt like an item you just put
I
back.
feel this is one of the weaker tier 4s. Like, the spell mechanic is good, but a lot of the heroes can't really use it. We're going to see that fight again.
Good arena, and they catch Sylar for the first time.
It's just this zoning tool that Leshrac provides you with his shard. First, I thought it was a meme shard, and
zoning.
right now I completely changed my mind. Did the 180, or what a lot of people say 360.
360, because they don't understand what a full rotation is.
So, yeah, I think this is actually one of the better shards in the game right now.
I think what people kind of don't recognize is, like, when you're taking an area in the base, even if you're high grounding or even if you're defending, it basically, with BKBs being, what, 6 seconds by this point late in the game, you've got 2 split earths charging up. You can use that BKB, maybe avoid the first one, but now that area of the map where you're trying to fight on the top of the steps
The thing with the
available.
cooldown reduction, I think one of the reasons why he decided to go for it with the Octarine core and now Spell Prism is, like, they can overlap, because cooldown is 7 seconds, so you can actually land 2, but I still haven't seen it. I did not test it with, like, how good you need to time it with certain CDR. You know, if you have just Octarine core, when do you need to land it? When you have a Spell Prism, additional 18% cooldown reduction.
So now it's 5.5 second cooldown as he put the Octarine core back in his item stack. And so you've got 5.5 seconds. Everyone is, what, 5 seconds after?
Yes.
So you'd land the first, you'd have a half-second delay, and maybe you could land multiple, and they'll go for the finger. They've got the spear that lands on a Sylar. He just fought back.
Oh no, EHOME.
That's a
that
game.
might be the end. Sylar, X-Nova, they go down. They land the stun once again onto Fade. They'll chase the rest. None of these heroes have buyback for the side of EHOME.
This is their last set of barracks, and seems like they don't want to even take it. They want to go for tier 4s, possibly, but I think safer play is just get the mega creeps. There's no Sylar for minute and 30 seconds. BKB just buying a bit of time.
Hey, on disc, all right. Right click's coming in from Fly, trying to do his thing. But they've got the stuns locked down and the Sun Ray burning him out. They'll call GG. So IG will, in fact, take game 1 over EHOME. It stayed close for a while, but at the end of the day, IG, they prevail and they come out ahead.
Yeah, IG's team fight was a bit too much, I would say, with the Mars Phoenix plus Leshrac with that shard, the Braid King